Well, all right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Planet Gen X Podcast. I'm your host, Sean. That over there is Brian, and we are so glad you guys have joined us. Yes, it hasn't been very long, man. We actually threw a little quickie episode out the other day due to the sheer madness going on around the new Doctor Who 60th anniversary episode that aired this past Saturday.
Got a decent amount of hits on it and even got a comment.
Yeah. You know, I saw the hits early on, but I haven't even seen the comment yet, so I need to go check that out. But that is cool. I knew that was going to get some attention. I just knew it. I had a feeling in my bones. And yeah, it's a big deal. And listen, there's 1,000 freaking videos out there about it too.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got some views is awesome. Definitely, because we were not in a small pond by any means.
Agreed.
By any stretch.
But before we get to anything,
That is absolutely right. Before we do, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like-a-roo, and leave us a comment like that last person did, who I can't wait to see what they said.
I will comment on this. They did mention that apparently, I don't know if it was the name of the comic, but this was something from one of the Doctor Who comics in the Marvel run.
The Meep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I had mentioned that at some point about it being from Doctor Who magazine. But,
Well, it was the comic from Marvel. I think that's different. And like
no,
the
Doctor Who magazine's been bought by Marvel years back.
Okay.
They've been run by Marvel for years. Marvel UK. That goes back, I want to say early 90s, late 80s. It could be early 80s, actually. I can't quite remember. It might have been Doctor Who Weekly. But that's why at the beginning of the episode, you see those two guys' names under Russell T. Davis's name, because they're the original creators of that comic strip. The Doctor Who magazine for years had a comic strip in it. I don't know if it still does. But they always had various, that's, I guess, the Marvel aspect of it. So there was various stuff. There was a great graphic novel called Absalom Doc Dalek Killer, and that's from a few strips out of the Doctor Who magazine. And that had, one of the strips had the 7th Doctor in it. And I actually have that graphic novel. It's pretty cool. But it's a compilation of his stories. He's like this warrior that kills Daleks. He's got... His name's Absalom Doc.
Okay.
And, yeah, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we have a new episode coming out tomorrow. We record on Fridays, as you know, so tomorrow's Saturday, and a new episode will drop, and that episode's name is Dun Dun Dun, into the wild blue yonder, sailing high into the sky.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Wild Blue Yonder is the name of it. And nobody knows a damn thing about it. It's been a very secretive episode, and then listen, it's interesting because now people think they know stuff about it. And maybe they do, but it seems like it's likely bullshit. So,
any surprise returning actors?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I misspelled something there, and I totally fucked that sentence up.
It's all good.
Tom Kingsley, the director of this episode, posted on X, fan PSA, the story of Wild Blue Yonder isn't a secret because there aren't any surprise returning actors or villains. It's just because we thought you might find it fun to watch without knowing what's going to happen next. Promise. So he promises there's nothing doing, nothing. They just want you to be pleasantly surprised when you see the episode that you not have a clue what's going on.
Right. And I mean, that's kind of fitting, in my opinion. This is a short run, right?
Yeah.
With the return. So, yeah, I mean, they want to keep as much under wraps as possible, kind of taking the Marvel approach to bring them up again.
Yeah. And you know, I did say that what we did know was that the first episode, which we just saw, was very Doctor Who-like, that we're used to, very New Who-like. And these other two were going to be probably very different. So that much we did know.
Right.
So it'll be interesting if if it's not littered with their virtue signaling, what we actually get as far as the story goes, and how good it is, I suppose we'll see.
Now, here's one thing that I've wondered because obviously I've missed out on what's her name, Jodie, the most recent Doctor.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of that, so as far as I recall, the last time that we saw River was supposedly her last time encountering him, but not necessarily the last time that he's going to encounter her, right?
I want to say I saw something where people say she's met this Doctor.
Right. So I don't know. It would be nice to see her again. I thought that was another great addition to the cast throughout the years.
Now you may be on to something. If we're gonna see anybody, it's likely gonna be her.
Right.
I would not be surprised if Alex Kingston shows up.
Well, obviously Rose is gonna make an appearance, right? The original Rose. There's just so much thrown out.
I don't even know.
First intro.
I would say almost maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I kind of expect that just with all of the drop at the beginning of the last episode.
Well, we got Donna there. I mean, I don't know. And then you got that, the trans Rose going on. I don't know if they're going to bring her in. I find it more likely that you were dead on with River coming back.
Right.
That seems highly likely.
And I mean, she's a fan favorite, right, Alex?
She is a fan favorite. She is not my favorite. I cannot stand her. I know people love her to death, but I cannot stand her character.
Yeah.
That spoiler sweetie stuff. Oh man. It's just not, I hate it. If they have her on there, it's going to be that spoilers. If I hear that, I'm going to put my boot through the TV.
Well, it's got to happen.
Oh,
they can't have her come back and not drop that, right?
You know it. You absolutely know it, man.
Yeah.
So, and also they did redact in the Doctor Who magazine. Russell T Davies has like an editorial thing he does in there, and there was redacted names of the cast. They have David Tennant's name that they would show and Catherine Tate's name, but then the other cast was redacted. So they're definitely, they like being playful with it and
right.
keep us guessing. So they're not completely innocent in all this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I can't really come up with much of anything other than your last point you wanted to bring up. Unless you have something else.
No, this is something that it's either very innocuous or I'm onto something big as far
right.
as where the hell is Bernard Cribbins? Because, and I hope to have this in the video when y'all see it. There's a behind the scenes for the Star Beast where there's a table read for the Star Beast. Well, he's
there.
You make you believe this is Star Beast, and yeah, he's there. And it's not just like he's visiting; he's at the table. I mean, he's clearly had lines written. Now,
right.
It could be, but I don't. It could be that this is behind the scenes footage for another table read through. They were sitting down for the whole 3 episodes, and they just had him there because they were going to need him later. So
maybe
my initial thought was this: he was in this past episode of Star Beast,
right?
And he got cut, and it made me think it was something like what you said. You told us last on the podcast that it was a kids show on the Quickie episode, that it was a kids show.
Felt like it.
And of course it's always been put out that way anyway, but it made me think, did Disney have him cut? Because obviously he was there. He was going to do it. Russell had every intention of having him in there. But then, and it was shot. But then when Disney saw it, they're like, how about we get rid of the old guy?
Well, I mean, not only that, but I mean, they hinted at it heavily, right? They name dropped his character a lot in that episode.
They did, and I thought, well, where the hell is he? Because I thought that I had heard over the last couple of years that he had passed. So I thought, well, maybe they just didn't want to write him out, even though he'd passed in real life. They didn't want to write him out, so they just kept him alive and they threw him in a home. But then I heard, I heard he was still alive, and then I had seen that behind the scenes thing on the YouTube where it shows all the different thumbnails of what you can watch. I was like, well, fucking hell, there he is. And then I watched the behind the scenes thing, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that this is the table read through for this episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know what's going to happen, though, right?
Well,
between writing and actual production.
Well, yeah, true that. But this is a character that you don't cut.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. They may not have cut him. The whole idea at the end of the last episode was they were going to go meet up with him.
Well, that's what I'm. Okay, so let's say the conspiracy theory part of it is it's not it. That they just decided, wait, we'd rather have it be more anticipation and catch him in the last episode instead.
Right.
So we had him in here so you'd see him. We already knew he's going to be in the last episode, but rather than give him early, we're going to just cut it out and make you wait for him.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Seems a little bit more old school than Disney and Davies were running.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that. I think he was obviously there. He was, it's a weird change. Wilf's a very beloved character.
Agreed.
Very beloved character, and I suspect that Disney just said, that's not going to fly with us. We want a younger looking cast.
There is also the third option, age, right? It may be possible that there could be complications with his age that made it to where between a table read and actual performance, maybe couldn't remember lines.
It's possible.
Whatever.
I don't know what his mental state is. He seemed to be quite lucid they don't interview him or anything, but you see him from a distance. He seems quite lucid and with it.
Right.
But who knows?
That's just a snapshot. So you never know.
It's just a snapshot in time, but I don't know. You figure if he's there, they probably figure he's doing it because back in the day, William Hartnell had problems with dementia and stuff like that. And there were times when he was lucid and he did do the 3 doctors, but he was reading from a cue card.
Yeah.
And he managed to be with it long enough to do it. But it
may not even be memory related, right? It could be something completely different, like kidney failure or whatever.
Yeah, but let's say, I don't know. I just feel like Russell's just going to chuck him in a wheelchair anyway.
Right.
Why not?
Is he? Right?
Right. I feel like he is. I really believe that. Why not take advantage of that, man? Russell's clearly got a penchant for the handy-capable, man. It's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, so throw him in a wheelchair. Why not, Russell? Shit. But so anyway, there's my theories and Brian's theory. So we'll see what ends up happening. I want to see him very badly. So I feel cheated that we didn't get him in the first episode. I want him as often as we can get him because it's not going to be, dude. And many of y'all don't know this. He goes back to Doctor Who, and they made 2 movies. Peter Cushing did the original Daleks. They remade the Daleks in a movie, and the Daleks Invasion of Earth they remade into a movie, and he was in the second one playing Ian Chesterton. So he goes way back with Doctor Who, and I want to take advantage of him one more time, just like we are with the Donna and the Dr. Donna with David and Donna. So
I do just want to say, I don't know if I said this last episode, but I wanted to say it. Catherine Tate and her role as Donna kind of exemplifies the importance of restraint in a bombastic character, right?
Yeah.
That is Donna to a T in my imagination, and I don't think anybody can pull that off quite the way that she does.
She's brilliant, man. The whole spilling the tea or the coffee or tea, whatever it was, on the TARDIS console was just so ridiculously over the top, dude. It's like it wouldn't have worked anywhere else because I would have called bullshit on it from anybody else. But she's just like, whoops, You know, it's like so fucking obvious. It wasn't a whoops. You know,
Right.
that it. Yeah, and nobody would have gotten away with that. Only
Well, it's also like it would be very easy for somebody to come to that character and just you know go over the top with everything.
yeah.
And she is kind of over the top. She's
In many
extra,
cases,
right?
but yeah, she's very restrained in a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it, she just kind of hits that peak and right where it needs to be. And
But she did
God
good
bless
about keeping it bottled up before she exploded and remembered everything. Then she
Yeah.
became Donna that we know, right?
Right.
She was watered down Donna, and then she became Donna we know when she bursted forth with all the Time Lord juice.
Right.
Goo. So yeah, we're keeping it quick and simple this week because you never know when we may pop in with something random. We are all on Doctor Who Death Watch now, so we are taking it episode by episode and seeing where this is going, where the production is taking us as far as more virtue signaling, or if we're actually going to get some quality Doctor Who without being talked down to and preached to. So, with that in mind, as always, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much, guys.
everybody.
Peace.